So, folks, I have the distinct pleasure tonight of being able to tell you guys that Patrick Bet-David of the PBD podcast, that's right, fine Italian shoe leather manufacturer Patrick Bet-David, hosted the Florida GOP gubernatorial debate for some reason.
Growing bigger like my pennants.
Will we be valuetained? I don't know, but I fully expect this to be a train wreck. All right, Nathan, thank you for the $5 dono. Let's dive into this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. This might be a multi-part endeavor. All right, take a look, folks. We got the Patrick Bet-David studio. Clearly they aren't in the bank vault anymore. And by the way, in case you're wondering, hey, so this is the gubernatorial debate, right? Where the GOP candidates for governor are? Hey, isn't Ron DeSantis like one of the most evil men to ever come out of America? And yes. And if you might be thinking to yourself, hey, does that mean that all of these people are also vying to be one of the most evil people to ever exist in America? The answer would be also yes. Remember, we talked about James Fishback like a few days ago, actually, at the time of recording this, and James Fishback has relationships with like actual Nazis. It's crazy. But let's dive into this. I love that this already looks like a top-notch debate. I love it. You can tell it's a top-notch debate because each one of these people has a little chair seated behind their podium in case they want to sit during this debate. And like every real moderated debate should, Patrick Bet-David has lined up his merchandise hats in order to sell cheap, shitty podcast merch. You know, the ideal, the platonic ideal of political debate.
Well, that person's not going to show up. I applaud all three of them for keeping their word. Please make some noise for the candidates for showing up. All right, so let's get right into it, gentlemen.
Beaver fucker, I might be misremembering.
No. The Beaver guy was from Minnesota. And now I have to show that clip, otherwise everyone gets really weird.
We can't eat beaver. That's just ridiculous. I think it got overlooked. I don't know what happened there. What are we talking about? We're talking about the legalities of eating beaver. That's just ridiculous. So I eat beaver. It's fine. No one's going to get in trouble for doing it. I don't know why this is in the bill.
It's so good. He's just like me for real.
Each of you get a 90-second opening statement. Paul, we'll start off with you, please.
Thank you, Patrick. Good evening. And Patrick, thank you for hosting this debate so voters have a chance to make an informed decision in this election. I want to recognize my wife who's in the audience, Adriana. We are the proud parents of a 6-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. And I got to tell you, being a parent of young children is perfect preparation for dealing with some of the politicians over in Tallahassee. And also, I want to thank everyone who's listening tonight, and I look forward to...
Also, can I just say, it's shocking to me that he has a 6-year-old son, because I keep thinking that he looks like he's 100 years old. He look like I know that might be unfair of me. I don't mean it in a mean way. Like, he looks old as fuck.
Earning your vote. As Florida goes, so goes the nation, and we need a governor who is a battle-tested leader. At age 23, I was a young officer navigating through mine-infested waters, and I led a small boat team to destroy those mines. 20 years later, as a commander in the Navy, I led a team to stop foreign fighters from coming into Afghanistan to kill Americans. I was also tested back here at home as a state prosecutor trying habitual and violent habitual offenders to protect our communities. I've started my own business, been a partner in another business, and most recently led the Florida House as Speaker. Voters want a proven leader who can deliver results. Governor DeSantis described those 2 years that I led as unmatched. And when I led the Florida House, conservatives won every battle. But Florida has new challenges ahead, and we need a governor who can navigate them. That's why I've announced a bold contract with Florida, an aggressive conservative agenda in the first 100 days. As your governor, I will.
I love conservatives, man. Like, hell yeah, brother. We, the voters, we love contracts. Hell yeah.
Make Florida affordable. I will keep it safe. I will protect our environment and keep our state free.
What is DeSantis doing? His last act as governor is apparently to try and try and end the property tax, which, if you know anything about property taxes, you know that they pay for basically all the shit. Like your schools, everything. Like ending the property tax is insane.
If you want to strengthen the state of Florida, the free state of Florida, you need the proven leader who helped build it. So tonight, I ask for your vote to lead this wonderful state as your next governor.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thank you. Jay Collins.
Well, good evening. And of course, I want to say thank you to Layla and my son Gabe. Great to see you here. Love you guys. And thank you, Patrick, for hosting us. It's incredibly kind of you to open up.
Why did he say that like he wasn't expecting them to be there? Great to see you both here tonight. Were they not going to be here?
Your channel like this, it means the world. Guys, this race is about leadership. It's about leadership under pressure. It's about the future of the great free state of Florida. We have been blessed to have Governor Ron DeSantis as our governor for quite some time now. In that time, he has stood boldly with strong, bold, conservative leadership. This simply cannot change. Under his watch, we have become the free state of Florida. We have become the conservative proving grounds of the United States of America. And friends, if you look around the world, there is nowhere else to go. The simple fact is this.
Florida, the last bastion of Western civilization, of course! Who would have thought it would come down to this? Fighting side by side. Those from Jacksonville and those from Miami. Brothers in arms against the fall of the West. Like, what, bro? Bro, are you okay? Have you been drinking the swamp water again?
When Florida leads, America wins. We have to keep that momentum. He has shown what conservative leadership is truly about. Friends, the next governor has to hold that line. There's no falling back. The left?
Can I just say, like, it's insane. Conservatives are just insane. Like, everything is falling. Bro, MAGA literally controls the White House and Congress right now, and you control all of, like, Florida's politics. You're like, we're losing. We can't do it. It's impossible. It's like, dog, if you're losing right now with all of the cards in your favor, you do not deserve to have a functional political system. Like, you've been handed all of the keys of power, and you're just like, I don't know, dog, we just can't open those doors. They're impossible. It's like, dog, it's a push you're trying to pull.
What do they want to see? They want to see the free state of Florida devolve. They want to see it break down and be soft on crime, soft on DEI, and go back to where we came. That simply cannot happen. You've heard my story. Yes, I was honored to be a Green Beret for many years. It's something I'm incredibly proud of. Brave men who I served beside and I look up to this day. Yes, I got shot. Yes, I lost a leg. And yes, I requalified. But the greatest part of all of that is that I kept getting up, fighting and serving the great state of Florida, the United States of America, because that is what grit, that is what leadership is, and that is what makes this nation what it is. Friends, I cannot be intimidated. I will not be broken. And under my watch, as the next governor of the great state of Florida, the brightest days won't be behind us. They'll be ahead of us. because this state and this nation are worth fighting for every single day.
Thank you, Jay.
And you know that I will not break because I've only broken at 2 points in my life. One at the passing of my father, and the other time when I watched The Notebook.
And conservatives are so victimized that this resonates with them despite reality.
I mean, it's true, right? Like, we literally have someone in chat right now who is like talking about how, oh, I'm one of the crazy ones when you, a trans woman, is talking, and it's just like, yeah, you're one of the crazy ones. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, please educate yourself. I'm begging. I'm pleading. I'm ripping my hair out.
And folks, if you're watching this, if you're following the debate and you put in commentary, our team will be watching as well. Follow the hashtag VTDebate on Twitter. Again, VTDebate on Twitter. James Fishback, please.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much for hosting this. Thank you to my wife, Valeria.
Wow. Okay, so I guess I've never seen James Fishback outside of his campaign videos. He's got a weird shaped head. Like, I'm not imagining it,
Debate
right?
on Twitter. James Fishback, please.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much for hosting.
Like, I don't know if it's his haircut. It looks like he has a cone head. Am I alone? Is he actually part fish?
This. Thank you to my wife, Valeria, for being here.
That's a fish
Jay,
in a
thank you
human
for being
suit.
here. Thank you for your 23 years of service to the United States Army.
Wait a minute. Has anyone ever checked his back?
Thank you, Paul, for being here and your 20 years of service to the United States Navy. To the viewers at home, thank you for tuning in to tonight's important debate. Let me start by getting one thing off my chest. If Ron DeSantis could run for a third term as governor, I would not be in this race because Ron DeSantis is the greatest governor in Florida history.
Jesus.
When teachers went woke, he fired them. When Soros prosecutors went soft, he removed them. And when Anthony Fauci and Joe Biden tried to shut us down, mask us up, what did Ron DeSantis?
Dog, he's going for it. He's This is, guys, you don't understand. This is the conservative equivalent of going for a touchdown. All right, he's listing every single conspiracy, every single one. We got Soros. We got woke DEI teachers. We got all of the things, guys. He's got COVID on here. Like, God, he's going for it. All while, like, just oily, like, and obsequiously, like, kowtowing to Ron DeSantis of all people. He's griping for it.
DeSantis do? He stood and fought for our freedoms. As the 8 years close on this incredible man's legacy, there are a new set of challenges on the horizon. Experimental data centers, sky-high property tax and property insurance, and most importantly, the education and future of the next generation. I am in this race to do two things: to preserve Governor DeSantis's extraordinary legacy and to fight to make our state more affordable.
Guys, he's literally like the Peepo egg emote we have in site chat, but he unironically, and Ron DeSantis is his egg, his precious, precious egg.
July 4th will be a special one because 250 years ago, brave men stood up and said enough was enough. Let's honor them. Let's write the next great chapter of American history right here in Florida.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you for that. If each of you can take 60 seconds and share with the audience, with the voter here, what the top three issues are for you in the order from third to first, which
I
the
want
top
them
three
to bring
most
up DeSantis history in drag.
I want them all to put on drag too and present history. That'd be great.
important issues are to you. Jay, I'll come to you first.
Look, as I've traveled around the state, I have been from big city to small town, and the number one thing that comes to our ears is affordability. It's about the economy. Number two is about safety and security. And the last thing is education, because the simple fact is this: what we teach our children today is the reality of our state and our nation tomorrow. We can't afford to fail on those three things.
Those were your three? Okay, beautiful. Paul?
Oh no, Patrick, Patrick, yeah, that when he said those are my three things, yeah, that was three things after he said that. Come on, Patrick, are you so tuned out you couldn't count the three? No.
Well, I would also echo affordability. If I go and speak to a pastor's breakfast, they want to talk about affordability, a homeschool mom's affordability everywhere you go. And we have become a victim of our own success with prices going up, with everybody moving into the state. That's number one. I would also say we have to fight public corruption and enforce public safety. We see what's happening in blue states across the country, and it's unacceptable. We have been an oasis of safety when it comes to our public safety here in the state of Florida. And finally is preserving our constitutional rights and freedom. We are the free state of Florida. We need to not only protect it, but also strengthen it.
Okay, James, how about yourself?
Fishback
Three
looks
issues
like
for
his
me that
mom
are
does
most
his hair with a Flowbee. If you're old enough to remember those.
I don't remember them. I didn't really learn about taking care of hair until I was older, you know?
Important are this. Number one, Ron DeSantis gave us a 50-year low in crime, and it wasn't by accident. Crime's down, prosecutions are up, because
guys, I look, it makes a lot of sense when you realize that Patrick Bet-David doesn't have his numbers guy there. You know, usually on his show, he has a number guy who, you know, the facts and figures man, who's very bad at his job, but he's the guy that Patrick Bet-David has offloaded all of the numbers thinking to, and he's not there. Really, you're all being ableist right now for criticizing his lack of being able to count to three.
Ron DeSantis did the radical thing that CNN and MSDNC won't talk about, is we're going to back the blue every step of the way. That's the first thing. Number two, we have a real problem with these so-called experimental data centers. I'm sorry, we are not going to build a 2 million square foot facility in our neighborhood that Mark Zuckerberg is going to use to become a trillionaire. The same exact experiment.
Unlike Elon Musk, who's a very good trillionaire.
Data center that will drive up your electric bills, jeopardize our water supply. And
wait, I'm sorry, did he say Mark Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg is going to 2 million square foot facility in our neighborhood that Mark Zuckerberg is going to use to become a trillionaire. The same exact experimental data center that will
Oh fuck. God, this guy's so funny. Like, he's vile and evil beyond reason.
How Fishback cuts his hair.
He's evil as fuck, but like, oh my god, this is funny. Holy shit. Also, Coder Joe, what is this? Thank you for the 2 tier 1 subs.
Every day, people are discovering just how fun and easy it is to get a precision layered haircut right in the convenience of their own home with the incredible Flowbee Precision Haircutting System.
I love it. Thank you.
Drive up your electric bills, jeopardize our water supply, and is so loud and noisy that you will hear it 24 hours a day.
You're spouting violent rhetoric. Am I? Is me laughing at this man so hard? Is it violent? I guess technically it could be considered violence because, you know, maybe someone might accidentally stumble across this video in the future and laugh so hard that their ribs snap and one of them gets flexed into their heart or something. You're right. If that's what we're talking about, then I guess maybe I'm too funny. I'm violently hilarious.
7 days a week, 365 days.
Laughing loudly is also a sin. Oh god, I still can't get over finding out my dad actually was taken out of gym class because they were learning how to dance, and his parents thought that was sinful. Still getting over the fact that my dad literally grew up in the religion from Footloose.
A year. I want to be clear. I am not going to regulate data centers. I am not going to reform data centers. As governor, I will reject and remove every experimental data center in our state.
Okay, and we're going to address that as well.
Calling him evil? You know, that's so interesting because that says so much more about where your head is at than it does about where I am, or most people.
Well, I got, that was just 2.
Go for it.
Here's the last one.
Oh no, if you call someone a bad person, you're calling for violence because you must want to hurt evil people. Like, Dog, I don't want to hurt anybody. That's all you. You're bringing that into the conversation.
One. The last one, you don't need a history book. You don't need a time machine. The last one is happening right now. There is a movement in our country that calls themselves democratic socialists, but let's call them what they really are. They are communists.
You know, look, it's complicated because I call myself a socialist largely, and I do believe in democracy. Largely, I call myself socialist because I believe in democracy, and I think we should add democracy to our workplaces. But without me getting into that whole aspect of things, worth pointing out here that communism is a stateless, classless, moneyless society, and that's going to take a lot of long-term changes. And in fact, as a socialist who largely agrees with the concept of communism, socialism is when the economy is primarily owned and driven by the working class, i.e. the workers, not the state, not different formulations of private ownership, but the workers who work at the place. They all collectively own it. We have that type of structure right now, by the way. It's called the Democratic Worker Co-op. And without getting too in the weeds here, that's just one step. That is effectively creating a more egalitarian and free and democratic society. But that is still a society where there's a state. There are still going to be class distinctions, albeit lessened by the distribution of power. And also, you're still going to have money. So, insofar as like in the short term, I call myself a socialist. This is the work that's going to take a lifetime.
They always say communism bad, but never explain how or why it's bad.
Well, because it's just a shorthand way for them to say evil. That's it. It's just drawing on Red Scare shit. But they don't actually know what communism is, which is why they never talk about it in detail. They don't want people to know what it is. So, anyway, it will be the work of my lifetime to get us to adopt a new economic system. I have no illusions about that. But the idea of like the state, or the idea of money disappearing, or the idea of all class notions disappearing, these are the works of not just one lifetime, but many. And, if I were to put an estimate on it, I would say that project would take, it took a few thousand years for us to develop a form of capitalism, which, by the way, even Marx admitted was an improvement on feudalism. And I suspect it will take us quite some time, perhaps a few thousand years, to grow beyond capitalism and socialism. But I do expect that we will continue to grow and learn as we do so, because that's kind of human nature. We're curious, and we always seek to make things better. But, this is the thing, right? What I've been talking about, if we return to electoral politics for a moment, like, you can't be a centrist Democrat anymore, because they're going to call you a communist anyway. They're going to call you a socialist anyway. And at a certain point, you have to be willing to say, yeah, I do support working class people. Yeah, I do support policies that make working class people richer. And I do support pro-working class policies that make working people have more time, be able to spend more time with their kids, be able to get healthcare. Like, yeah, all right, we'll accept the label if that's what you want it to mean now. We're going to make it mean good things. Congrats, James Fishbag. You are directly, basically, a walking lesson in why centrist Dems should cease to exist and move farther left.
The mayor of New York is telling people who are sweating during the worst heat wave, telling kids and our senior citizens that they dare not touch the thermostat. We will never forget what communism really is. Our neighbors in Cuba know that.
Wait a minute.
Mayor Mamdani says it's really important to conserve energy. He called for New Yorkers to set their thermostats at 78 degrees and did the same thing at Gracie Mansion. The mayor responded to criticism by some on social media, taking him to task, saying 78 was too high. Political reporter Marsha Kramer asked him about it.
Are you sticking with 78 degrees?
I am, and I'm sticking with it because this is a long-standing city policy through multiple administrations. We're also following the guidance of the U.S. Department of Energy. I myself set my thermostat to 78 degrees. Let me tell you, 78 hits different when you're looking at 112 outside.
Mayor Mamdani says,
Oh, so it's just following recommendations to preserve the power grid and make sure that, like, you know, people don't lose power. Because hey, what happens if an entire section of New York City suddenly loses power? I can't seem to think what exactly would happen to the places inside these buildings that no longer have air conditioning if the power grid goes out. Oh yeah, it gets a lot hotter than 78, don't it? Weird.
And we must fight the wickedness of communism, no matter what the Democrats call it today.
Whoa. If me calling this guy evil was incitement to violence, I guess this guy's inciting a bunch of people to be violent against all Democrats. That's crazy.
And for the audience, if you're watching, the temperature here are 68 degrees. That's where we have the AC, just to make sure we're going to be fine. So since affordability was number one for all of you, let's get right into affordability. And we're going to have some fun here as well. We're going to have some items that are going to come up. We're going to play a game to see who knows more.
Yeah, I wonder which place has an infrastructure that is more set to accommodate massive heat waves. Maybe Florida or New York City. I wonder which place has a power grid and infrastructure specifically made to accommodate large-scale heat waves. It's a mystery. We'll never be able to crack it.
About affordability than the other. It'll be a little bit entertaining, and we'll address some important issues. But let's start off with affordability. And James, I'll come to you first here. Let's talk about homeowners insurance, which is a big issue. Between 2020 and 2024, more than 12 insurance companies cut back coverage in Florida or left completely, including State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, and Progressive. Now Florida has the highest property insurance rates in America. As governor, what specific immediate steps will you take to lower insurance rates?
God, it's crazy to me. Can I just say, we've covered Patrick Bet-David for a while here now. Recently, he did a show where they heavily focused on how climate change wasn't real. And he's not going to recognize climate change, but, like, genuinely, the reason Florida has some of the highest property insurance rates in the country is because of sea level rising. It's because of climate change. Oh my God. I'm dying, man.
Are Ched's going to intentionally lower their AC, or obsess it about it, as the new method to pwn the libs? A la all the steak pictures on Insta after the Green New Deal was first published?
God, no, it's going to be stupider than that. It's going to be like, they have to destroy something, right? Like, it has to be like a symbolic act of violence. They're gonna like what they did with, like, their blenders or their, like, Nike shoes or whatever after Colin Kaepernick. Yo, I love your shirt. My father invented the thermal heating system for the Space Shuttle Columbia. The tiles have been used on all of them. That's wonderful. I love the Space Shuttle. I think it's one of the coolest technological innovations human beings have ever made. Also, Paladin Lost, thank you for the $10 dono. Thank you for helping to keep this channel going. Appreciate you.
Rates and make housing affordable again?
Patrick, it's a great question. And it's one that we have.
They just start smashing their air conditioners. I mean, it's plausible, unfortunately.
To fight with a very simple idea called capitalism. If you're the only Dairy Queen in the middle of a desert, you can charge whatever you want for soft serve. What we have to do is bring in a Baskin Robbins, bring in a Carvel, bring in a Cold Stone. You might even.
Why would you do that, though? Just out of curiosity, in this scenario, why would you build a bunch of ice cream stores in the middle of a desert where no one's around? Like, I understand the point he's trying to make is that you want to facilitate competition, and I get that. But it just seems to me that this is, like, maybe that there's a flaw in this model where, you know, the main problem here would be building in the middle of a desert, and you need actually a lot of other support services around that one building. in order to make it a livable and desirable destination for people to go. And that requires not just a bunch of competing ice cream stores, but in fact, like a bunch of
Silly
different
Jack, global
things.
warming is hot and ice cream cold. Adore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Even bring in a McDonald's, Jay, if the ice cream machine were working that day. What does that competition do? It brings down prices. The fact that 12 insurance companies have cut,
Or it causes a bunch of companies to collude and then pay off Republican politicians so that their monopoly doesn't get broken.
or left the state entirely is exactly why insurance rates have gone up. As a business guy,
Why are there so many transgender people? There aren't. You're just choosing to seek trans people out. Don't know what to tell you.
going to call those CEOs myself and ask them, what is it going to take for you to come back to our state? How can we reform these laws? But here's the thing. Insurance doesn't just come down to price. It also comes down to coverage. For the Florida families who went through Michael in 2018, Irma in 2017, or Wilma in 2005, know this. When a hurricane hits, you will not have to hunt down and recruit a lawyer to get paid from your insurance company. I will stand up to insurance greed in our state.
Paul, how about yourself?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I have some unique receipts on this issue because as soon as I became speaker, we went into special session to take two special interests, the billboard lawyers who are driving up rates as a litigation hellhole in Florida, as well as the insurers, and we said, let's focus on the consumers. And by doing that, we saw auto rates go up 30% before I was speaker. And since then, auto rates are going down.
Oh, goddamn, Paladin, thank you for the 20 tier 1
Jack,
subs.
You're not thinking like a capitalist. Antarctica is an emerging market, and they need a DQ and a Carvel. It's why I'm Kevin O'Leary and you're not.
Oh, damn, you're right. You know what? We should float out a Dairy Queen into the middle of the Pacific Ocean and then just sink it so that it is waiting at the bottom of the Mariana Trench to serve all the people down there. And you know what? After we've done that, we need to drop several more into the Mariana Trench to make sure that there's enough competition going on down there. All right? It's the only way to lower prices. Also, goddamn, Paladin Lost, thank you for the 20 tier 1 subs. Putting this stream on your powerful shoulders.
Down in one state in America, that's this state. Now, homeowners insurance is a little bit more stubborn, but we have seen dozens of new insurers come into the market when before those reforms, they were going out of business, dropping coverage. But here's what we can do. We can make sure to eliminate and suspend the tax on homeowners premiums. We can end the rapid cash, what's called the rapid cash buildup, which was done at a time when our catastrophic fund was broke. Suspend that for a while and also allow that CAT fund to come down and handle smaller.
I was literally just thinking about having Jim Water talk about how much he could charge for a bottle of water in the middle of the Pacific, and you beat me so to it.
Oh, well, Paladin Lost, thank you for the $5 dono, and of course, give your kind regards to friend of the show, Jim Water, CEO of Water. CEO of Big Water. And hopefully we see him around again soon.
Storms than what they're handling right now. All three of those and some other reforms we can make will lower the premiums by up to 20%. And we'll do that in the first 100 days as part of my contract with Florida.
Fantastic. Make some noise. Thank you, Paul.
I'm waiting for one of them to pledge to make the world hotter for some reason. I'm waiting for one of them to pledge to actively do something to make their
for the
crisis
Strait of
worse.
Hormuz.
It would really cool things off.
Jay, how about yourself?
All right, thanks, Patrick. Look, you've heard similar answers here, and it's very simple. Under Governor Ron DeSantis, we have fixed this problem, and we continue to work towards it. Look, at one point, we were down to one insurance company. It was very, very tough. Many of us worked day and night trying to figure this out, move it forward, and bring more insurance companies in here. Yes, we spoke to CEOs. Yes, we spoke to economists. And yes, we pushed everybody. The number one thing that drove that was rolling back tort reform. Guys, what we did with tort made a huge difference. The number one thing you can't do is fall back. We cannot cede ground to the trial bar. It can never happen on that. Not now, not ever. The rates will skyrocket. We have to make sure that we look at things like permitting and impact.
Oh yeah, Tonight with Kyle. I think Jordan Peterson was floating that idea for a while, that like more CO2 in the atmosphere was good for plants, and thus, like, how could it possibly be bad? It's so silly.
Fees. Right now, those are things that we can actually solve on the ground. The cost of permitting is built back into the cost that goes back to the person. It's not just the fee, it's the carrying cost. And it's magnified because it drives up our insurance. But it's incredibly dangerous when coupled with that FEMA 50% rule, where homes are being lost, when homes are being torn down. And the last thing is this: we understand that we have hurricanes. We understand that there are problems in this state. And that's why we have been leading the nation on property tax reform. And in our administration, we have done that. The language in front of us will bring back property tax relief to our people. We have to make sure we put money in people's pockets. We continue to fight to drive those costs down. And yes, we're going to hold insurance companies liable. We're going to hold attorneys responsible. And we're going to make sure we prioritize the welfare of our people over everybody else.
Jay, question for you in regards to, what we can learn from California, because a lot of insurance companies also left the state of California. Florida and California, this is one thing we have in common, both states. What do you do? Because insurance companies have to also make a profit. Mm-hmm. How do you make it profitable for them to come into the state, at the same time keeping it affordable for families?
Oh, God. Guys, do you think he knows? You can't unless there's a state program to run it at the taxpayer's expense. But, like, they can't answer that because companies aren't just out of the goodness of their hearts going to offer lower prices to poor people. Eventually, it's just going to be that insurance companies don't offer insurance to people who aren't rich enough to pay, right? Like, that's what's happening right now, which is why a lot of people are not able to stay in their homes, because the insurance has gotten so expensive, right? And, like, that means it would be less it wouldn't make these companies a profit to extend insurance to the poor people. So either you're subsidizing the company and the company is making even more money, or you have a state level program, Well,
I'll tell you, Patrick, look, we love the free market, right? I'm certainly not allergic to money, nor should anybody here on this stage or in this audience be. You got to really take hold of the crime and the fraud that's going on in the community. We actually have very strong laws. We've worked diligently, but you've got to go take care of that. Right now, roofing...
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Fraud, window fraud, windshield fraud on cars, those things are...
Oh, guys, it's not expensive because of global warming. It's not expensive because the storms have been getting stronger and the sea levels have been rising and more damage is being done to homes on the land. It's not because of any of that. It's because people are defrauding the poor, defenseless insurance companies. That's why the prices have gone up so much for all the average folks owning homes. Honestly, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
Driving rates up, and that cost gets passed on back to the people. We got to make sure we take care of that. And ultimately, when you do that, that's going to make the cost go down. Their profits will be there.
Yeah, there's just so much waste, fraud, and abuse within the private insurance system by, working class folks who are trying to defraud it, and not, worsening storms everywhere, more damage being done, bigger, I don't know. It's almost like we're not in the middle of a historic heat wave right now. It's almost like we're not facing down a super El Nino year. All right.
And ultimately, it's going to make sure people have more money in their pockets long term. That's just one of many things.
I think
this will, by the way, what he means by people, he's talking about the insurance companies.
Please go ahead, James.
Well, I think Jay is exactly right, that there is a fraud problem in this state, that when someone cheats their insurance company, especially illegal...
what is the government going to do to stop insurance fraud? That's a great question. And, I think you heard the extent of their plan, which is to just look harder for it. Look harder for all of the assumed fraud that's going on, of course.
Aliens in our state, when they cheat their insurance company after a storm, the insurance company does not pay that fraudulent claim. They pay it and then they charge the rest of us. And so it's not a coincidence, Patrick, that we have the highest insurance rates in the nation while also having the highest fraud rates in the nation. That's why my running mate, Florida's Lex Lieutenant Governor, is a cop who has gone after white-collar crime right here in Florida. We are going to throw the book at anyone and everyone, especially illegal aliens who commit insurance fraud, prosecute them, invite the insurance companies back in, they'll make a good profit, and we can bring down the premiums and save money for Floridians.
Paul, do you have any other angle yourself? Any unique angle yourself?
I didn't hear you, Patrick.
Is there any unique angle you have yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, I have the receipts because the reforms we did were as soon as I became Speaker of the House to get rid of those jackpot.
Of course, they're like, there's tons of waste, fraud, and abuse, and it's all being done by undocumented people. It's just like, God damn, you guys are stupid.
Verdicts. So when a handful of lawyers get rich at your expense, that's spread across everyone who pays insurance policies, and we ended that litigation abuse when I was Speaker. Another program that we need to talk about is the My Safe Florida Home program, which we funded at hundreds of millions of dollars. It gives up to $10,000 in grants for people to harden their homes, new doors, windows, roof tie downs, etc. And it saves as much as $1,000 in premiums. And so these are practical steps that we can take that allow for insurers to come into the market, and that's exactly what's happening. We're seeing the benefits of that 3 years on. Now, the plaintiffs' lawyers, as soon as we passed the bill and before the governor signed it, went out and filed almost 300,000 new lawsuits under the old rules. And so it's like the big egg moving through the snake, and we have to wait for that egg to move through before we see those new rules fully take effect. So the good news.
Okay, so eggs are lawsuits, but then how much is goose?
I am sorry, are immigrants a significant portion of homeowners? And secondly, is there any proof of this so-called fraud? Also, when I signed up for insurance, I needed my social security number.
Their evidence is trust me, bro. Their evidence is just trust me, bro. The only way the cost could be so high is that there's somebody defrauding it, right?
News is, even though we're several years on from those reforms in 2022 and the end of 2022, we're still seeing benefit to consumers.
All right. Let's go to the next story. The next story I want to get to is housing costs, rents versus wages. A new report shows a Floridian needs to make $77,500 a year to afford an average two-bedroom rent of $1,940 without overspending. As governor, how will you ease this rent and wage pressure so working families don't?
I live 2 miles from that mosque shooting in San Diego, and those kids were Nazi Jew haters who shot up a mosque. Like, you can't make this make sense. I mean, it does make sense because Nazis hate Muslims and Jewish people and immigrants.
Spend most of their paychecks just on housing. James.
It's always a question of supply and demand. Right now, it's no different than we were 10 years ago, except one major difference. Florida has 1.4 million illegal aliens in our state. The homes, the rental properties, the apartments that they are living in, the fact that Blackstone and BlackRock are buying up all this housing supply, 117,000 single-family homes are owned by private equity. Single-family homes are for Floridians. They're not for hedge funds. And so what we have to do is we have to prevent these large investors, foreign nationals from...
I do support the idea that we should not be allowing investment companies to buy and flip properties.
Buying up our homes, driving out Floridians who have built their life here, and that's how we can bring down costs. But I also want to touch on something as well, which is that it's not just the rent or the expenses that you pay every month, it's how much you make. How much money are you making today versus 5 or 10 years ago? We are staring down a crisis for the next generation. I met with a young man at Florida State University a couple months ago. He applied to 100 different positions at a company. And I won't name the company out of respect, but it was Amazon. And so he had a 4.0 GPA, computer science major. And Patrick, he can't get a job from Amazon because they told him, We're not hiring American citizens right now. They're just hiring H-1Bs from India, Pakistan, and China.
I don't believe that story for even a goddamn second. And then everyone clapped.
To the 1,900 employers in Florida right now who are using H-1B foreign labor, I am warning you once and for all. Fire your foreign workers, hire back qualified Floridians, or you will face the ultimate wrath of the state of Florida. We must put our workers front of the line.
What's crazy to me is that H-1B visas are literally used to bring in highly skilled people who then work in America and live in America and contribute to their local economies and like do local labor. Like all of this helps America and American business. But like the xenophobia has been ratcheted up so much that like they're just like, oh, these people doing labor for Americans and American companies? No, 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 no. That labor should only be done by Americans for Americans. It's nuts. Like, it's just virulent racism.
Jay, do you agree with James?
Yeah, I agree with the premise of what he's talking about. We know we have an illegal immigration issue across the United States of America. Look, every state is a border state. That's just the reality of it, and we have to take that threat serious. We've talked about it. If we have 2 million illegal aliens in the state of Florida, 4 people per house, that's 500,000 homes or apartments being taken out of circulation. Let's talk a little bit about other notes of that. The American dream is what's...
It's honestly crazy, just absolute bonkers that conservatives have it so easy. No facts, all vibes, no hope, only fear, just so sad.
I mean, that's exactly it. It's just vibes-based politics. Like, it's just completely divorced from reality. And they're just like, what's the vibe of this room? Oh yeah, racist and xenophobic? Gotcha. I know exactly the kind of argument to make. And you know what? No one's even going to bother to fact-check anything I say.
It's important. The American dream is what we're discussing. The American dream can never be broken down to just getting by and having barely enough or just eking it out. Guys, that's not the America that we fought for. That's not the American dream that I want.
He just crawled out of the ocean.
What I want to see is more opportunity, more jobs, more growth in those industries to raise it up, to make a difference in the families. We have to bring back the trades. Did you know the average tradesman is 58 years old? The average farmer is 58.9. When you raise that up and you get more people into the workforce...
Yeah, I mean, the H-1B program does need to be reformed, shoot bang. It's just that, like, they're attacking H-1Bs because they're racist, hateful assholes. But the real criticism of the H-1B program is exactly what you described, which is that it makes your presence here and your life here in America contingent on your employer, being pleased with you, which then opens up a wide range of abuse and exploitation that other workers are not subjected to.
Great things happen. The free market works. Where we run into problems as conservatives, as Republicans, is when we forget our principles and we over-subsidize, we play games, and ultimately it ends up causing problems down the road. If you want to bring back more affordability, you want to drive down the cost of rent, we have to project and take care of.
When your career doesn't allow you to criticize capitalism, some minority group is always an easy red herring for lazy people.
Too true.
Of affordability and the quality of life across our entire state.
Super chat, Brutus.
That has to be the number one focus of what we're doing. It's the number one thing I talk about moving forward, and the number one thing I hear about everywhere I go in the free state of Florida.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. Paul.
So we are a victim of our success. Millions are moving into our state, much like illegals coming into this country because they have failed countries where they came from. There are failed states now in America, and people want to live in Florida. And look, if I could, I often say I would love to build a wall.
Wait, there are failed states? There are failed states now in America? Which states have failed? Like, I want to know. I'm so curious. When he says that, like, he's like, well, is New York like a failed state? Is California a failed state? States that by themselves are some of the largest economies in the world.
all at the Georgia-Alabama line and make California pay for it to keep people from coming in. Because it is a supply and demand problem. I agree with James on illegal immigrants as being a source of the problem. Part of my affordability plan, and I also agree on H-1Bs, is that we will have no H-1.
Yeah, they're all fucking ghouls. They're all evil as shit. I'm losing my patience with this. It's so... Why? I was just looking at what the other sections are here. Foreigners, education, thumbs up game, flock cameras. There's like 5 minutes for audience questions, a message to Byron Donalds, who's the front runner. And the next section is just called game. We'll let this guy respond, and then I think I'm going to have to call it. Actually, I'm curious what this game looks like. I don't really care about his response.
Product in the state of Florida, okay, what the price of this product's going to be. You're going to give your number, whoever's closest, not up or down, whatever's the closest. So if you say 505 and it's 5, you say 490, the 505 wins because it's closer by the penny. So not the typical Price is Right. I'm sure we've all watched it before. We're going to play our rules, whoever's closest to the dollar. And then we'll see who knows actually what Floridians are going through on a day-to-day basis. So if we're ready, do we have the products? Please bring the products up if the ladies are ready. Let's start off with the first one. The first one is a dozen grade A eggs. Let's start off with a dozen grade A eggs. You can't help them, by the way. I see the camps are here, so don't throw signs or anything. We're watching. The cameras are on you. Okay, so James, how much are the price of a dozen grade A eggs?
As soon as I became...
Oh, God. Sorry. I got confused there. Like, he's having women bring out eggs?
Closer by the penny. So not the typical Price is Right. I'm sure we've all watched it, but what Floridians are going through on a day. They're ready. Let's start off with the first one. The first one is a
the ladies are ready.
Dozen grade A eggs. Let's start off with a dozen grade A eggs. You can't help them, by the way. I see the camps are here, so don't throw signs or anything. We're watching. The cameras are on you. Okay, so James, how much are the price of a dozen grade A eggs?
Well, my wife forces me to buy the organic, but I know those from a previous life. Those are about $2.50.
$2.50, James. Okay. Jay, how about yourself?
About $2.70.
This is so weird. This is so weird.
$2.75 a dozen.
$2.75 a dozen. Paul?
I was going to say $2.52, but just to hedge, I'll say $2.45. How's that? Non-organic.
$2.45. So the average is $2.58, which the first one goes to Fishback. Okay. So Fishback got one so far. You would have said $2.52. You would have had it. Don't overthink it. You're on the right track. All right, next one. 1 gallon of whole milk. 1 gallon of whole milk. Jay, I'll come to you first.
It's about $3 a gallon.
Okay. James?
About $4.50 a gallon.
$4.50. Paul?
$3.50.
$3.50. It's $4.22. James Fishback takes this one as well. All right.
He knows how much things cost.
This is
Lisa
a video
Al-Gaib.
of TEMPT to appeal to THR working class. Hello, fellow kids. I too know the price of bread.
It's very weird, especially with like the showgirl presentation of eggs. Like this is wild to me.
Let's go to the next one.
All those trips to Publix and Live Oak that my wife sends me to.
All right, let's see the next one. One loaf of...
It's not because I know what we need, because we're equals in the household. My wife sends me.
Of white bread. One loaf of white bread. Paul?
$2.75.
Jesus.
James?
About $3.20.
$3.20.
I feel so bad for these ladies.
Jay?
We go with $2.65.
$2.65. This one goes to Jay Collins. $2.50. There you go. Collins picked one up. We got to get on the leaders bulletin.
1 kilo of blue grade methamphetamine. How much does 1 kilo of blue ice cost? God, Paladin.
Let's go next one. 1 gallon of regular unleaded gasoline. AAA prices as of today for Florida.
We talking engine grade or huffing grade?
Fishback.
About $4.35.
$4.35. Guys, don't answer, please.
Wait, was she barefoot? If so, that's psychotic. No, she's not. They're wearing like all white flat ballet slippers.
$35.
$4.35. Guys, don't answer, please. If you answer again, I'm going to ask you to leave. Please don't do that again. I'm being respectful with you. Let's enjoy their answers. Okay, James, you said 450. Next.
385.
385.
Oh, I was
Paul.
going to say 385 too, so I'm going with my original answer.
Which is what?
385.
Both of you guys are saying
Yeah,
385?
385.
One of you guys got to say, you got to say a different number.
All right, 390.
390. It's 381, which means this goes to Jay. So Jay's got 2 now. Jay, Collins, and Fishback are tied at 2. Next one. Very important to the president. This is very important to the president. A Big Mac meal.
Oh.
James.
A Big Mac meal. Jay and I are tied?
No, you guys are tied. Yeah.
We're tied.
You're
All right,
tied
Jay,
2-2.
Jay, if I win this one, you got to drop the lawsuit. Big Mac meal.
Big Mac meal.
Gosh, that's almost $9.50.
$9.50. Okay, Jay.
I think it's about $11.75.
All right, Paul.
$8.75.
$8.75. You know, it's $13.99, which goes to Collins. Collins takes the lead. All right. We know who goes to McDonald's here. Know that for a fact. There you go.
You gotta hope that ice cream machine
God damn, McDonald's getting too rich for people's blood these days.
is working, brother.
All right, let's go to the next one. One package of Pampers diapers, 100 count.
A lot.
It's been a while.
I have
Paul,
a
how
6
come
and a
you
4-year-old. It
first?
hasn't been that long.
What do you say,
It's
Paul?
like a pay raise when you.
1 kilogram. Megan Fox's giant boobs. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
Stop having
It is.
diapers.
100 of them.
Man, it's a tough one. We order them in bulk, so I'm going to say $10.
$10. Jay,
for a count of 100.
Okay, I'm done with the novelty of this, but I guess I am curious because they have another game later, the thumbs up game.
Proud to be one.
Thank you.
From the beginning, I said it best.
This rolls up to everybody. Thumbs up, thumbs down. We'll go through 20 different issues, and on some of them, if
Double
there's
side.
you guys
Got it.
differ, we
Got
may
it.
go a little bit deeper. So
Yep, you got it. So we each get one.
you got them. Everybody has one. So green, thumbs up. Red, thumbs down. Can you show it to the audience so they can see? So thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. So I'll state an issue,
God.
and you tell me if it's thumbs up or thumbs down. Eliminate property tax.
Oh my
Easy.
God.
Require E-Verify for every employer.
Conservatives are
Legalize
so
recreational
cooked.
marijuana. Expand school choice and vouchers. Raise public schools teachers' pay, which could lead to additional state spending. Okay, you were a little bit hesitant there, Jay. Are you still sticking to thumbs up?
I was listening to the whole question and making
Okay,
sure
all
I'm
right.
good on thumbs up.
That's my English. Forgive my English. Ban cell phones during school day in K through 12. All right. Expand.
That's my English? Dog, what are you talking about? That was actually really gross. Dude, have some self-respect. You're English. You have a podcast where you talk every day. You're like, oh, that's my English. Sorry about my English. Dear God.
Nuclear energy. Build more toll roads to reduce traffic congestion. Okay, let's stay.
That's the one thing they break on? That's the one way that these candidates differ? Are you fucking kidding me? God damn, Florida's Republicans are cooked.
On that. Jay, you put thumbs up. You guys put thumbs down. James, why don't you go first? Why
Immobilizer, I would love to. I don't know how to do that.
are you thumbs down?
I don't think we need to turn Florida into a concrete jungle. I don't think we need to keep building. I grew up going to the Everglades fishing with my dad.
That's right. Return to Monkey as state policy.
And uncle, and I can tell you this state is perfect just the way that she is. What I want to do for Florida conservation is I want to tackle the FWC head on. You got corrupt commissioners there who are not fighting for conservation. I'll remove them using my Article 4, Section 7 powers. But on toll roads in particular, why is it that the Turnpike was built 50 years ago and we're
Return
still
to fish.
paying for a road that we were told we were only going to pay for it to be built? And here's the fact. If you're a Florida resident, you should not have to pay to drive on our roads. Patrick, here is my commitment to the voters of Florida.
Well, I mean, outside of paying, the taxes to pay for the roads.
As governor, I will eliminate all tolls for Florida residents.
Paul, you also had thumbs down.
And I just want to tell you how we're going to pay for it.
5
Because at a
seconds.
time when communists like Zohran Mamdani are trying to steal money, here's how you're going to pay for it. Make the poorest
Ma'am, respectfully, this is my show. You're interrupting. Next time I will ask you to leave. You've done this since standard time. One more time, I will ask him to leave. Please respect the audience here. You're the only one that's doing it, and I'm being respectful to you. I'm very tolerant, but you've crossed the line.
For the people watching at home, that's Jay Collins' wife. The other two wives are well behaved.
No, it's not Jay
actually not,
Collins'
James,
wife.
and don't talk about my wife.
I could tell it was your wife, Jay, because she's ugly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
It's not Jay Collins' wife,
Lord,
but
man.
please
So,
continue.
how do we pay for it? We pay for it by charging the tourist more. 140 million tourists drive on our roads every single year. Charge them $1 or $2 more so we don't have to pay to drive on our roads.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the solution. Just charge people who are out of state. I'm sure people will love that. People absolutely will. Look, I was gonna try and make a joke about this, but honestly, like, you know what? I'm in favor of this policy. I think this is brilliant. It's a great idea. Because it's the kind of thing that will make people start to stop and say to themselves, maybe we shouldn't take our family vacation to Florida where we're going to be charged to do anything, even drive on the road. You know, maybe we should go to like a different state. Maybe we should go see the Grand Canyon instead. We don't need roads where we're going, which is back to Monkey, back to fish.
Anymore.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
You don't need roads if your school is a school of fish, guys.
Well, this is very similar to what we did when I was speaker with Governor DeSantis, which is to give discounts to Florida residents. And to James's point, that is a way, to, much like my property tax proposal, I am shifting the burden of taxation away from those who make Florida home to those who vacation here and speculate here. And I think that is a good direction to go. The reason I got the red paddle is, like, I can't tell you we're never going to have a toll road, but that's not the first place I would go. And so I think it makes sense to give relief to our residents who, especially frequent commuters, who are spending hundreds of dollars a month to get to their job, and again, dealing with costs that are out of the world right now. So give them a little bit of a break. We did that for a period of time to try to bring those costs down, and we can look at doing that again.
Okay.
Let's see. Very short section here for audience questions. I do want to just take a quick look at that.
Let's check this one out. Go for it. We can hear you. The mic went out, Jake. I know you can hear it. I want the audience to also hear it. Do you want to try it one more time, Jake?
Or try to hold it closer to your mouth. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, much better there. Go for
it. Oh, God. He's so mad. It's going so
Remove
well.
restrictions for young entrepreneurs in the state of Florida. 30 seconds each.
Yep.
Go for it.
Sure, I'll go first. We have regulations. Look, regulators, what do? They regulate. And so if you leave them to their own devices, they will continue.
Brilliant. Regulators regulate. Cool.
Continue to regulate and regulate. We have
Yep. That is what regulations do. Once you pass them, they continue to regulate. Oh, boy. GOP, you guys are
Republicans are so bad at infrastructure, any event they hold falls apart.
It's true. Even their political party is falling apart.
Regulations that are on the books probably from the 60s and 70s. So we need to do a better job. You hear about zero-based budgeting. I'd like to see zero-based regulation and tear it down to its bare minimum and only have regulations that go to health and safety. Businesses need reliable rules. They need to just know what the rules are. And as long as they know that, and as long as they're low, which they typically are in Florida, but not always, then you can prosper. But I hear all the time when it comes to other states that they do it better in other states where there's not the kind of simplicity that
Wait, did only one person get to ask a question?
Need to give to businesses, because all of that effort, all of that time, all the bodies you have to put on that regulation costs money. That money then gets passed along to your consumers or reduces your profits. And for all those reasons, we have to have, whether it's a 1 in, 2 out, or how about a 0 in, 3 out of regulatory effort. When we look at the Tax and Budget Commission, Byron has kind of sloughed off the whole property tax debate and said, I'll send it to the
Dude, he's had so much longer than 30 seconds. It's crazy.
commission. Look at this, that not just
I think you're going to hear a lot of the same thing from everybody.
Oh my God, he gave like a 2-minute long answer. And this is the only question. Okay, wait, we got one more.
And it empowers
Jay.
people to make choices.
Thank you, James.
Is this something that's personally affected you?
Myself and my brothers just recently relocated from Wisconsin to Florida.
You bring some cheese curds with you?
That's right. So we felt Wisconsin, and we'd like to have a governor in the state of Florida that is champion entrepreneurs.
Well, as a young Florida entrepreneur myself who started a business at 21, let me tell you right now that we need to do whatever it takes to inspire the next generation of businesses here, and it will be enough. Here's how you do it. Number one.
I'm sorry. Like,
Internet reset inbound 5432.
don't look. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay? But just to be clear here, that's the only question the audience gets to ask throughout that entire thing. There's not another question from the audience. They have that final, like, thought section, and then it's just done. They gave 2 hours to these guys, and their audience Q&A section is literally 5 minutes with one question being asked. That's crazy. Anyway, folks, I'm done with this. This was silly as hell, and I don't think I have the tenacity on this particular subject to last for the entire duration of it. But god damn, that was crazy. Now, folks, if you enjoyed that, if you got anything out of it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this epic clashing of 3 guys who, by and large, have the same ideas about how to ruin the country. And also, get organized, folks. Join your local Dems. Join your local DSA. I know that there are great people doing work locally, even in Florida. There's a very strong up-and-coming Democratic movement. I encourage you to get involved with your local political scene because you guys can make this world a better place. You do not have to actually just cede power to these very hateful bigots.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and swishy streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, dating, plenty more. Your sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.